You're listening to the Jaybird Watching Podcast, the official podcast of jaysjournal.com and Fansided.com. We are the official ballroom chat for everything Toronto Blue Jays baseball, from game highlights to rumors and all the stuff in between. Here's your host, Craig Borden, with co-hosts Jason Lyons and Liz McGuire. Now let's talk some Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Good evening, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to another lovely evening of Jaybird Watching. I am your host, Craig Borden. Here with me, as always, Liz frickin' I'm the Collectible McGuire. How the hell are you?
Good, bud. You know, I'm just living life, being a collectible. That's it. My highlights this week include somebody buying me a beer. I liked that. That was great. That was a good thing for me. Today I was walking down the street and somebody came out of a candy store and gave me a chocolate bar. I guess just for living. So that's what's up.
There you go. That's what's happening. And just be careful, as long as the van isn't marked free candy, you're probably still doing okay. Anyway.
I would get in that van. I would always, guys, from what I would say, like when presented with the option of, do you want the $500 or what's in the box? Get in the van.
There it is. So on episode 433, Eric the Heck Rosenhek is with us. How the hell are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you guys. And Craig, how are you, my American friend? How about an election? Let's get a hot take. Let's get a hot take right now.
I'm waiting for the Mad Max level of like horrors to just ensue, but I have at least 99 more days of Biden to get everything right with Kamala before, crazy happens. So I'm hoping for the best right now. But yes, to that point, are you two able to sponsor an immigration anytime soon?
I'll see what I could do. We'll get it going.
Yeah.
We'll bring you up. I think it's time for you to make the pilgrimage to Toronto.
Yeah. Other than just being a couch dweller for Liz's apartment for the last parts of the Blue Jays' horrible, oh my God, levels of season.
Bad.
True fact. Good times. But anyways, that is a very good question, but this is not a political podcast, Mr. Heck. So we're going to move right on to, I'll say, the other dumpster fire, which is what the fuck is going to happen this offseason? So I don't know. I guess
are we gonna sign people? Are we not gonna sign people? Are we gonna keep people? Like, who knows? That is off season. But I can guarantee you, my hot take prior to jumping in with the Heck is we will sign people, and then we will not sign people. I'll be upset either way.
Yeah,
I think there's the fun.
Yeah, I absolutely hate this time of year, especially on Jay's Twitter, because it is just a complete shitstorm. There's no patience. Nobody has patience anymore.
Oh.
And, as soon as
that's because a trade actually legit happens 3 seconds after the offseason started with the Braves and the Angels. So it's like, oh my God, there's trades happening already, and then nothing.
Yeah, but even still, people are, if something doesn't happen, everyone freaks out. Or why hasn't they done anything? Why haven't they done anything? Oh, this is the worst GM. And the best part is, there's been years where people are literally losing their shit about Atkins and Shapiro not doing anything. And the next day they go sign George Springer, or they get Chris Bassett, or they get Gosman. Yeah. So people just have patience. And I know I'm kind of talking into the wind, but it's going to be a total shitstorm. So just, I need to get a new umbrella.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Unavoidable, I think.
People are freaking out already. The thing is, though, is that like it's fun. It is fun to freak out. That is fun. But it's like long. It's long. It's like I'm going to just check out and hope for the best. And I also would like.
As you're on a weekly baseball podcast, Liz. So
yeah. I know. It's gonna be me just being like, I don't know, maybe.
Bruce Springsteen can't be in town for you every week. I know that was your crutch this week, and I know you went.
Yeah, 2 shows.
I'm not worthy from
the front. I went. I went to
shows.
both shows. It was good. It was a good week for me. It was an expensive week for me.
Nice. How many shows have you got to in total?
Like 14 or 15.
Okay, because I've heard like any other Bruce Springsteen fan, they're literally like triple digits number of times.
They're older. They're older than me.
Well, yeah,
that would be the catch. So the only person I've seen as many times as Liz has seen, Bruce Springsteen at 15 is I've seen Alice Cooper 15 something times, because every summer that I was going to a concert, one year I went and saw Alice Cooper directly, and then the next year it was like, okay, great, look, Alice is with Iron Maiden. Okay, got to see Iron Maiden and Alice Cooper, and then the next year he was a Hailstorm. It's like pick whatever rock band he was with and opening up every year. That was kind of amusing. Is there some rock band that you've seen a million, or just band in general, Eric, that you've seen a million times?
I wouldn't say a million times, but they're called Sunshine and Broccoli, so they're a local kids duo.
Dude,
And my kids love them, so we've seen them a whole bunch of times.
What I know about Sunshine and Broccoli is there's a member of Degrassi in it, I believe.
Well, they're both theater majors, Lisa and Brock, but I don't think maybe they did a quick cameo on one of the.
Yeah,
Degrassi.
I saw. There's a Degrassi member, a part of that for a minute. Anyway, moving on.
Is that like the Wiggles? My kid's 14.
Oh yeah, the Wiggles. Listen, the Wiggles and Sunshine Broccoli got me and my kids through the pandemic.
That's
at
awesome.
The worst times.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So I'm going to start this off with a horrible hot take as far as a trade rumor or a trade should be that I read online. And this is unfortunately trending on the Blue Jays aggregator, one of our other friends of this website, and is that some reason the Blue Jays are going to trade Vlad Jr., which I call monstrous levels of bullshit. But this trade, and then this is what I see from the wonderful world that is the internet. And by the way, I'm using that term very loosely in this equation. Blue Jays trade to the Mets Vlad Jr. for two prospects and Jeff McNeil. The prospects being Jet Williams and Ryan Clifford. And I'm sitting here going, dear God, you have way too much weight on Jet Williams, other than a really cool baseball name.
Yeah, that is pretty elite.
That's right up there with Brandon Belt for Blue Jays fans right now, right? You have awesome name. That says home run hitter all over it with Brandon Belt. But Jet Williams, crazy athletic shortstop / outfielder in the minor league system for the Mets. Ryan Clifford, and then Jeff McNeil's got like one good year left in him, right? So I just thought that was like the hilariousness of the internet and what can be posted on the internet in levels of fandom. And I just was like, clearly you're a Mets fan, whoever wrote this.
Yeah.
I could understand the rumor though, because I remember when Donaldson was going into his final season. In looking back, they probably should have traded him during that offseason. In 2018, he got hurt, and his trade value went so low that all they could get was Julian Merriweather. And I think if the Jays were really tanking, and if the Jays were really in a rebuild, like if they started the rebuild now, then I would trade Vladimir, just rip that Band-Aid off. But the better option, I mean, they're going to go for it in 2025, which part of me loves it, and objectively, I'm not too sure, but I would hang on to him and wait till the trade deadline and let people pay a king's ransom for him, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt like Donaldson.
Yeah. But the nice thing on the flip side of that coin is that Vladdy is obviously incredibly younger than Josh Donaldson was at that time. And it looks like we lost our Liz. So on that note, but Eric, it's one of those things that's just wild to me that anybody even thinks in the ballpark here will you even possibly comprehend trading Vlad Jr. other than extending him at this point in the offseason. And hi, Liz, welcome back. So because if this team is serious about contending and going forward, the easiest way to ensure a Blue Jays moderate level of contention is by keeping Vlad Jr. on this roster. Thoughts?
My thoughts are if they trade Vlad,
100%.
Like, what are they doing?
Well, that depends. We'll see how the team performs. There's even a part of me that wonders if the intention was to keep Vladdy past 2024. I wonder if back in 2019, if you remember, they delayed calling him up. They wanted to wait till the end of April because that got them an extra year. And this is total conspiracy theory. It's completely fucked up. So please, nobody put any stock into it. But I wonder if Atkins and Shapiro have said we're going to trade him anyway. Let's milk the cow, get as much milk as we can from the cow, and hopefully there's a World Series title or two. But again, please, that's just me being paranoid. That's my paranoia getting the best of me. I am praying that he signs to a long-term deal. But, my objective side is 50-50. I don't know.
That's high.
Shrugs.
Tough place to be.
Well, I think the biggest problem on that whole thing is, and I think Liz, you'll back me up on this whole thing, is nobody has any confidence in this front office to actually do that and re-sign Vlad Jr. Liz, you and I have talked about this many a night, drunk at the ball game. Go ahead and enlighten the rest of the world.
Yeah, I think I am afraid that our front office, who I understand to feel like they are the smartest people in the room at all time, won't take the necessary bowing to sign Vladdy, and they would rather, kind of walk away from that. And they'll still feel smug, I guess. But the fan base really obviously wants Vladdy to be extended. I can't see them doing it. It's been a while now. I don't know if there's anything going on behind the scenes, with regards to offers. But I could see them fumbling the bag just by how they're treating Vladdy and how maybe nonchalant they are about signing him when he's all we got right now. That's it. You want to see kids wearing t-shirts with their superstar in the back? It's Vladdy. You sign that. He said he wants to be here for his entire career. He's told us that many times. Right? Which is awesome. And it's great that he's performing now. It's great. He's hitting well. He is a Gold Glove winning first baseman. I know people say there's not a lot of weight in that, but they can fuck off. I am afraid that this I'm afraid that this front office does not see our performance on field as a measure of their success or not. As quoted by our guy, Mark Shapiro, when he was asked in the press conference about things that didn't go well this season. And he said, oh, you mean on the field stuff? Because for him, people in the seats and cup holders is his measure of success. The on the field product is the secondary kind of thing that you think about later. And because of that and their focus kind of not what's on the field, I don't know.
No, I do think that point of view, to your point, is 100% skewed, because the other catch on that whole thing that Blue Jays fans understand is that, you put asses in the seats by putting a product on the field. Yeah. This is one of those things that was said for years. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of this whole thing, Blue Jays fans finally got a chance to show that. And it's been consistent since 2015. You finally did something to put some asses in the seats in 2015, and you saw it building. Then they traded everybody at the trade deadline and really pushed it to the gap, the edge, right? 2016, same thing. Everybody was there. 2017, the cliff happened, but there were still people in the seats. 2018, 2019, I know I was there as much as humanly possible until, certain COVID things happened. And then finally everybody was allowed back in the ballpark. And it hasn't changed. The team started building in the right direction, and boom, we're in the playoffs again. So I don't feel like this management group has seen anything other than Blue Jays fans showing up, and they're biased to that.
Yeah, they're used to
the problem is, if you don't put a product on the field, nobody's going to show up, and it's going to be back to the dark ages and Angry Bird eras all over again. That only people are going to show up on Roy Halladay night, Flashback Friday, those kind of things. And if they don't start putting something better on the field than the horrible shit show was the last place team that was supposed to be a World Series contention team last year. Even Mark DeRosa on MLB Network said that the Blue Jays were going to the World Series last year. Could he have been more wrong?
Tough break for D-Row. Tough break for D-Row.
Especially for D-Row. He predicted the Blue Jays Dodgers World Series.
You know what's crazy though?
I don't know if last year.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they're only talking about 2025, but what I don't hear is 2026, 2027, 2028. And Russ Atkins has always talked about having not just success immediately, but long-term sustainable success.
And is the word
with our farm team.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but is Shapiro's contract ending at the end of 2025?
I think they both are technically up after 2025, so they have to literally shit or get out the pot. That's how I saw it.
They're literally. I mean, hopefully they're going to go for broke, because who knows? They might not have jobs, and they might as well just go for it all.
Yeah, make some moves.
But we don't. The thing too is we don't know what's going on there, so all we could do is speculate. And just again, we just have to be patient and try to. I know I just dropped a wacky conspiracy theory, but we got to just keep that under control.
Yeah. So, but as far as like I'm sorry I led you all down that avenue with a conspiracy theory with that horrible trade scenario that would never happen. The Blue Jays have a better chance of signing Pete Alonso than that trade happening, which is hilarious to begin with.
You know what? I have visions of that.
Yeah.
Like I could see. I mean, this is just me coming up with crazy theories, but I could see several games next year where you have Spencer Horwitz at first, you have Alonso DHing, and you have Vladdy playing third. And then there's other games where Vladdy and Horwitz or Vladdy and Alonso are either DHing at first base, and you have Horwitz coming off the bench. And I would love it if we got
this person. You don't have a second baseman right now.
Yeah, you don't have
on this roster.
What about Wagner?
All day, everyday player. I'm not knocking that. I love Wagner. Don't get me wrong, but you don't have that guy that's done it at the major league level.
Yeah, Wagner's a baby.
Those bats you just mentioned, Spencer Horwitz. Which,
but I thought they gave up on that. I would not
want to want him as second baseman. He played a decent second base.
He was serviceable. But have they? I thought they sailed that ship midway through.
I thought they did too, but you're also still talking about Vladdy playing third, guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Go versatility.
Yeah,
exactly. A billion years of control and versatility, right? That's the team motto.
Mm-hmm.
So
looks good on a shirt.
But that's the point. Yeah, there was a shirt.
That's true.
On that note, the one rumor that has already been quote unquote kicked the tires on, which I'll believe this in certain levels of crazy. The Blue Jays checked in on Gleyber Torres as a second baseman, and I'm just like, oh God, really? We're gonna touch that one. The guy had how many errors in the postseason? I don't know what your guys' opinions are. Exactly. The answers are a lot. I don't get it. I'd rather keep with Billy. I'd rather stick with Wagner or Horowitz, anybody. As I say, insert Davis Schneider lookalike here at second base. So that one doesn't make a ton of sense to me, other than literally throwing a bunch of money for the sake of throwing a bunch of money on a guy that is repped by Boris. So
where's Torres now?
Yankees.
Free agent.
He's
a free agent, but he just came off the Yankees.
Yeah, I don't know why. I got the Yankees stink on him, and I can't with that.
He's not going to stay at Yankee. I have a feeling that Jess Chisholm's going to be playing second base, and they're going to go get after a third baseman.
Yeah, I can see that.
So,
I'm looking at
Chisholm. Actually, was a nice short third base find for them. Actually, surprisingly, but that's not his normal position, so they'll probably go out for somebody that can play third. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking up free agents that are second basemen. So we got Kyle Farmer. We've got Whit Merrifield. Yeah, I doubt there's going to be a reunion. I don't know if there'll be a reunion there. Who knows?
I'm good with that.
He kind of burned that. He kind of burned his bridge on the way out.
Yep.
Speaking of reunions, Brandon Drury's a free agent.
There you go.
How
still the only walk-off home run I've ever seen in reality, not on TV, was that.
I was at that game. Vladdy's debut. Yeah,
I know.
Oh, I was at that game. I think he's cute though. I think Brandon Drury might be cute. So I'll give him points for that.
Yeah. There's got Adam Fraser as well.
Yeah.
And Jorge Polanco.
There is also a shortstop that could play second base, and that's was it Lee from the Padres? Yunho Lee. Kim.
Yeah, Ha-Seong Kim is available.
Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah.
Who's the best one?
236.
Who's the best one out of those?
For shortstops or second?
Second.
Second, actually. Well, they did this based on WAR, and looks like Gleyber has the best WAR, 5.3. But that helps when you have Aaron Judge in the lineup and Stanton and Juan Soto. There's the guy I want, by the way, Juan Soto. I know it's not going to happen.
Get there. But to that point, Gleyber Torres is projected to get at least $14.2 million this offseason per year, which I don't see the Blue Jays throwing at that when they have so many middle infield options. But what do I know? Could be crazy. So, but on that note, you went to where I was going next, Mr. Heck. That was to the Juan Soto fund. Blue Jays fans are literally clamoring, and all I'm sitting here is we're going to get heartbroken again like Ohtani, because guess what? He's repped by the same jackass in Scott Boras. So I'm thinking it's going to be a prop up the contract thing all over again just to get him paid to the level of crazy that he wants. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I went, really? That's what you think you're getting?
Yeah.
It was Ohtani level money, and I'm sorry to say, if you want that kind of money, you need to be the pitcher and hitter that Ohtani is and hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases and just potentially win 10 games on the mound. And that's it. But the levels of crazy for Juan Soto are flying.
It was like, I saw it was about like 700 or 800 million. I saw at one point.
There's that. But it's over like 10 years, which is what Ohtani just got.
Yeah.
I know it's mostly deferred. Do you just, I don't know what you guys think, but do you think that Ohtani and Soto are one and the same?
No.
I don't see it. It's not even the same.
But then again, we want to win a World Series here. We got to pay.
Right. To your point, I am not. I
would lead that convoy of dump trucks of money for Juan Soto's house.
Yeah, agreed. Resign Vlad, and I don't know if you guys saw, but Vladdy Senior just posted a picture of, I think it was Juan Soto and Vladdy laughing together.
Yeah,
I think Tatis might have been there too. Anyway.
They're already at certain levels of BFF. That's the one thing that the Blue Jays have. They have a chance to, if they make Vladdy happy, it could potentially make Soto happy. And you have the Wade LeBron thing going on, like with what the Miami Heat did a million years ago. Wade's over there going, come on, come down here to Florida. We'll win a championship.
Took our guys CB4 with them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the projected, according to Major League execs, I'm trying to find how many years this is in this article here really quick. So give me 2 seconds. It was $498 million for Juan Soto. And they're guessing that's going to be an 11 or a 12-year deal at that price. To that point, he's 26.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's the biggest win on anything with Juan Soto is the fact that he is extremely young to be hitting the free agent market. This is the level of Bryce Harper hitting the market at the age that he is, and what he got in bank from the Philadelphia Phillies is at the time comparable. But he actually, in all reality, he took a discount to go to Philly because that's where he wanted to go.
Yeah,
it seemed like, because you look at his contract right now, it's very in the Philadelphia Phillies' favor for what he's done up to this point in his career. It's obviously going to, I think, level out because he's getting older. But he's playing first base now. He can just stay healthy and mash baseballs. He's not playing right field like he was when he signed with the Phillies. So there's some levels of fun to that too. The other random projection I saw was 14 years, $560 million.
14 years? 14 years.
14 years.
That seems like
he would literally play till he's 40 in that uniform. So just to tell you, we were talking beforehand, I'm going to be 40 on Sunday. I can't even freaking open a car door apparently now without getting hurt. So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that our focus should be obviously re-signing Vladdy, number one. Make our guy happy, then send him out as a little baseball Blue Jays angel to score more homies. The thing is that listen, I know everybody's like, we're not going to get Soto. We could, though. Here's the thing. We could. And I think we should be measured and careful in our enthusiasm of doing that.
Oh, yeah. You know, last year, actually, I was more upset about Soto going to the Yankees than I was about Ohtani going to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
To me, Soto to the Jays made more sense than Ohtani to the Jays. Not saying that I would say no to Ohtani. My pitch to Soto would be, listen, I mean, look, the pinstripes, the Yankee pinstripes are a powerful currency. But what I would say to him is, do you want to be just another Yankee All-Star? Do you want to be just another New York celebrity? I mean, there's a million New York celebrities. There's a million New York's Yankee All-Stars.
Or you can be the celebrity.
You could be a king. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. But yeah, he could be a king in Canada. Look at Kawhi Leonard, guys.
Yeah,
One year, he got a championship. And Raptor fans, it was just 1 year, but I would argue that Raptor fans love Kawhi Leonard more than Clipper fans right now, and definitely love him more than Spurs fans.
For sure.
Right? He's worshipped.
For sure.
So come on over, Juan.
Just Soto
No,
shuffle on over.
that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
Whatever you want. I'd give him a blank check.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a blank check.
And at that point, when you're literally going to be throwing money at it and trying to win a championship, I agree with the fat. Go for it. You're already paying all this money and crazy amounts of starting pitching on this team. Anybody we add is going to push us over the luxury tax anyways. So just do it. Get it over with. And you're going to lose Springer's contract after this year, I think, was the other piece to that puzzle. Two more. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is 2 more. Gossman's 2 more years. Barrios is 3. So the bulk of this team is cored up for another 2 years.
Yeah, Bassett's contract ends this year too.
Correct. And that's a nice one because I think that's timed well. Because if Bassett's eating innings, he's worth it this year, but he needs to get a little better. He needs to be second half Bassett than he was first half Bassett this past year.
Amen. Yeah.
So, but to that point, is there anything else you would like to talk on the Soto front before I take that curveball you just dealt me and run with it?
Listen, I mean, look, I would love to see Soto in a Blue Jays uniform. That would be my number one target after, of course, signing Vladdy long term. My number one free agent target. But I mean, I expect objectively, I expect him to sign with the Yankees. Yeah. But I mean, you never know. Crazy things happen, right? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you must not heard my bold prediction. I think the Cincinnati Reds and the Washington Nationals are going to spend a ton of money this year. I really do. They see this year's off-season market for those kind of big guys is good. Next year? So those 2 teams are on the cusp of having enough young talent that they want to push something. If they want to start pushing their cards into the table, you sign somebody like Juan Soto and then build around him.
But remember, it's Juan Soto's decision with help from Mr. Boris. So do you think he's going to really go to Cincinnati, or does he want to be in a big market like New York or Toronto or
that would Dodgers? Be the question.
Yeah.
But as far as who's ready to back truck up money-wise, but the Washington Nationals is a reunion. That one, I think, says some reality to it. But who knows?
Wait,
that was just my random dark horse candidate.
Could the Dodgers get him?
There was rumors. There were rumors about it during the World Series. You never know.
He could be the next guy in Dodger blue. But to that point, I'm not as upset if he goes that direction, because to your point a minute ago, Eric, with the Ohtani, him going to the National League, that helps us a little bit. So at least he's not in pinstripes.
Yeah, and I mean it's again, Yankee pinstripes are a powerful currency, and playing for Hollywood's team is also a very powerful currency.
Very valid point. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens, because it is going to be a wild winter, because he's not going to sign anytime soon, and he's going to play everybody around. He has Scott Boras as his agent, so we're going to get inevitably, why haven't you upped the offer just a little bit, Blue Jays fans? And you got him, don't worry.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. That's unfortunately more of the articles I've been reading lately for the offseasoners in that ballpark. Boras is ready to dangle the hot dog in front of the horse again and see how he can get out of us.
He wants his client to get the most money. That's all he's doing. It's nothing personal. He's
doing his job.
It's business.
To the Jerry Maguire fund, show me the money, right? So let's spin to other free agents, because there is some other things that have been going on in Blue Jays baseball. The GMs had their little meeting over the last week, and the one thing that has been privy to baseball fans is, for some reason, the Blue Jays are actually looking for pitching, starting pitching, amongst all things. And apparently one of the players that they actually contacted on a short-term idea was Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves, now free agent. Eric, Fried had a horrendous beginning of his season, and then turned it around to basically be a Cy Young pitcher if you ignore the month of April. Thoughts? Do we need this? It's never bad to add more pitching, but you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, you can never have enough pitching. But I mean, there's other candidates too. I kind of want Kikuchi to come back. Just for the sick pleasure of knowing that Houston gave up 3 of their young talented players, and we got the guy back
Yeah.
Like that would be such a fleece
Come
job.
back to us. 100%.
Could you imagine that? I mean, Russ Atkins, I'd put Russ Atkins in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Not maybe not Cooper, but
not a good
a
one.
Hall
Just
of Fame.
Trade Hall of Fame for that one item.
Yeah.
On a B level. But to your point, I would love to see Kikuchi come back. I do think that Max Fried is a heck of a fly under the radar grab, because I don't think he's going to get paid just because he isn't the sexy name on the free agent roster. But I think, Liz, you and I had the pleasure of being at a billion games and whatnot this year. But to that point, do we need the starting pitching?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I really, truly, we don't have a number one. Who's our number one guy right now?
You can make the argument Brios had the best season out of everybody last year, but
no, not out of everybody. In terms of matching it with the rest of like the Major League Baseball, I think that we need at least a one guy. We don't know what's going to happen with Manoah. I mean, we kind of do. I think he's still going to be trash, but like he's out there. So
come back to her.
I think we need 2 starters.
Okay, Blake Snell's available. I would take a Blake Snell.
Go for your number one. I'm fine with stealing him from the frickin' Yankees, because that's who is going to be. The Yankees just lost their best guy. Garrett Cole is a free agent.
Wait, I thought
he signed.
No, he signed.
He dropped.
He
opted out and got some more. Did a new deal.
Yeah, it was weird. We did he opted out and then he was like, "Oh no, I want to stay."
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was official. I heard they were talking.
He reeled that back quickly. I guess the market wasn't what he thought, and then he's like, "No, we good."
Was
shit. 4-year, $144 million.
Was Shane Bieber injured this year? I feel like he was injured. Missed most of the season.
At the beginning of the year, yes.
Okay. There's a name.
He ended up coming back near the end, but he's free agent. I'd be happy signing Shane Bieber. He was a guy that was honestly, he was showing points that he could be the guy for an ace level. So I'd be interested in that.
Oh, apparently Walker Buehler is a free agent as well. I did not know that.
That's a very interesting one.
I don't know if that's correct. Nobody quote me on that.
Nope.
Yeah. Chase Anderson. Hey, should we give Chase Anderson another shot?
Sport Track is usually the one I use for looking at contracts and stuff like that, and they usually have a pretty good free agent tracker too. I'm
on an MLB
trending
site.
page. That would be a pretty good bet too. Pulling up the starting pitchers.
Yo, but heck, what do you think our requirements are?
Come on, you can throw a brick of money at Mad Max or Verlander. Apparently, are free agents too.
Verlander's old. What the heck? What do you think is our requirements for starting pitching?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What do you think are our requirements for starting pitching?
I would like someone to be consistent. Yeah. In other words, go out there, give me, I don't need Cy Young, just give me 5 to 7 innings every start. Give me a quality start and keep your team in the game. If you could do that, I'm a happy camper.
And to your point here, Eric, a lot of these names are in the getting older ballpark. Yeah. There's
Charlie Morton's there. Yeah.
2 names that are under 30, and it's barely under 30. And Jack Flaherty's technically a free agent, but I think he's going to end up being a Dodger regardless. Shane Bieber, to your point a minute ago, and then it drops really far off. Walker Buehler being exactly 30. Then by the time you get to the next 30-year-old past Walker Buehler on the WAR list here, you get all down to the Jose Urquides, Mike Soroka. There's a name.
There's a name, but unfortunately, he's been hampered with injuries. One name that jumps out at me, and I like this guy because he knows what it's about. He knows how to pitch in the World Series, and that's Nathan Eovaldi.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on.
He just opted out. That's almost hot off the presses.
Yeah.
He's only been out in the free agent market for 2 days. But he could be somebody that could help train the next level of Blue Jays guys, to your point. Maybe he's the one that talks to Manoah in spring training and unlocks something where he can start building it back together in the bullpen or something. You never know. There is something to that point of what you mentioned with a veteran. Yep. I've been there, done that presence, and the Blue Jays don't have that right now. So it is an interesting one.
He'd be a huge help.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, I'm not outside of a few names like that. There's not a lot of impressive here outside the names that we were already talking with Kikuchi, Blake Snell. It goes really quick.
Maybe we've got something
in Charlie
in-house,
Morton
though.
category.
What about in-house? Maybe, you never know, this Jake Bloss kid.
Yeah,
I've
maybe.
heard a lot of good things about him.
Yep.
Maybe Bowden Francis is the second coming of Cy Young.
Yeah, that's the thing is like
point.
maybe, but like I just want like one guy, just like one extra guy who I know is going to be consistent. Like Bowden wasn't consistent like at all, and I don't know what's going to go. I don't know what's going on with Rodriguez. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. Is he starting for us next year? Or is he still one of our guys?
What does our depth chart look like right now?
Yariel?
Yeah, Yariel.
Yeah, Yariel, as far as he's in the rotation until they put someone else in the rotation, and then he could be a reliever. I mean, the guy barely did 5 innings every start.
Yeah,
I don't know why just keep him in the rotate, keep him in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Yeah, our projected today, as of the season, depth chart for the pitching rotation is Gossman, Barrios, Francis, Bassett, and Yariel. On the outside looking in, we mentioned you have Alek Manoah. Trying to scroll further to the minor league pitching depth, we have you mentioned Jake Bloss. We have Adam Mako. We also have CJ Van Eyck, who is the forgotten Blue Jay prospect. Ricky Tiedemann is hurt at the end of last season.
Is he gone for the whole season in 2025?
Tiedemann?
Yeah.
Or no, I don't believe so. I'm trying to find what was injury, but I thought he was going to be back spring training-ish. Forearm. And you were 100% right. He had Tommy John. I didn't realize it was Tommy John. So he's going to be gone for a while.
Just looking up Chad Dallas. I'm looking up Chad Dallas here, but unfortunately he didn't have such a great year with his minor league teams.
Yep. No, I think you're going to end up reaching down into the depths really quickly if you end up getting that where you're getting into the almost too young to be being promoted that quickly in the recent draft picks of Brandon Barreria, Trey Savage. You're going to have to get to that line really quickly past some of these guys. We have a lot more guys I'd be more comfortable watching them in the bullpen than jumping right out to the first out to that. So I'm blanking on the one kid's name. What was the Brazilian kid that came back finally last year? He was
we have
he was crushing it. Where's his name? It's got to be here.
Well, while we're looking that up, maybe Kevin Gausman has more of a bounce back. He didn't have such a great start to the season, but he was injured at the start. So, Eric Pardinho, I think you're thinking of.
That's it.
There's Pardinho. And you know what? Maybe Gausman comes in nice and fresh, injury-free start to his year.
Yeah, maybe.
He can put up some decent stuff, and maybe Bassett rights the ship, and who knows?
That's a lot of maybes for me, though.
I know.
We have three solids.
There are no guarantees.
One good. And then a wing it spot, right? I'm all for I used to call the fifth starter spot the Josh Towers spot for the Blue Jays because you just don't know who the hell you're going to throw out there for the fifth starter, right? We've been very spoiled, especially in 2015 and 2016 with Blue Jays fans, with watching somebody pull a Marco Estrada in spring training and steal that fifth spot and run away to being amazing, right? Or you come back and grab Jay Happ off the dumpster pile and he turns into amazing Jay Happ instead of what his first tenure that I called him was Jay Hapless.
Francisco Liriano, there's another name. Someone that kind of pitched very well when we picked him up.
Most teams have that fifth spot as a wild card. It's not every team that you see does what the Dodgers had a revolving door and had all these great arms continually come through and get them all the way to a World Series championship this year.
But even they did a bullpen day. They did bullpen days even in the World Series. So even they didn't have like a regular full five.
But if you look at what their 2024 starting was, they had like 9 good starters deep because they even had Derek May, who never pitched a game this season at all. and he was expected to be one of their top starters. So then you just happen to stumble back onto Walker Buehler at the end of the season. So the right things happen. But imagine what that team would have looked like if you didn't trade for Jack Flaherty and the Yankees didn't fuck up that trade for Jack Flaherty. Because that's the part everybody forgets in that story.
Wait, what happened there?
Apparently the trade fell through and the Dodgers were like, come over here. So there was some piece that the Yankees didn't want to trade in that to the Tigers. And the Dodgers gave them whatever they asked for, apparently, to make the deal happen. So at least that's the story I've been privy to. And they were talking about that during the World Series broadcast. So it has to have some level of truth to it. Keyword, some.
Some.
But so you touched on something important there. Oh, sorry. You just touched on something important because you're like, oh, they only had 9 stars. That's health. You need as much as we want we want them to be consistent, with their location and their velocity, we need healthy, because a healthy rotation, that helps. That would certainly help. So if our guys, if it is Barrios and Gausman and Chris and Yariel and Bowden, as long as they stay healthy.
Yeah. That's what happened in 2016 for the Blue Jays. We stayed healthy. Every pitcher on that rotation threw 200 innings.
That's wild. I missed that very much. I missed that very, very much.
Those were the days.
So
those were the days.
Jerry Pridham has chimed in from our wonderful world of the internet, and he says that he would love to see Max Fried join the Blue Jays and get Yariel in this bullpen.
I mean, the bullpen's more of a priority than the rotation, so I'm on board with that. Especially with Yenis out and Romano, they all this silliness about not tendering Romano.
Yeah,
so we need bodies in there.
We need bodies. I love watching Jay's Twitter explode over Yenis Cabrera, being, I guess, was it?
Oh, that was wild. I couldn't believe they did it too.
I'm like, I don't know. I actually he was okay. Again, in our bullpen, he was probably one of the best. But when you compare it to the rest of baseball, he was okay. Nobody else wanted him, and I've heard gossip that he has attitude problems. There's something else going on there, and it's if we are doing a proper bullpen rebuild, I'm not sweating over this shit. I'm aiming better, better.
Yeah, to the eye test.
Saw the attitude problem.
Well, he's gorgeous. He's has his chains and is like a babe, but that whatever.
Yeah, there was swagger. There was definitely swagger. No, I was just going to say, the eye test would, if you're just going by sights and sounds and smells, he had a rough start to the season and his finish wasn't that great. But in the between, he looked decent. He looked like he was getting the job done. And then you look from stats wise, and a lot of walks and not a lot of strikeouts. So
no,
it's a shame.
Mm-hmm. So as we wrap up the show here, we got about 15-20 more minutes here. Blue Jays biggest need, and if you have an idea what you would like to fill it with. So as Eric's guzzling water or whatever he's got, Liz, I'm gonna let you go first.
The biggest
what do you think the Blue Jays biggest area of drastic improvement is needed, and is there somebody you would like to see take that role?
I don't have the list of free agents up, but I mean, obviously it's bullpen, and I'm not even really sure how easy it is to get a good bullpen. Bullpens are finicky like that. It's weird. So, I mean, they may make all the right trades, and I'll be upset, and the bullpen might still be trash. But it was the worst than what MLB last year. That's not okay. Bullpen. The answer is bullpen.
And it's crazy to think because in 2023, I think we had one of the best bullpens.
Yeah, we did. We had one of the best bullpens, which would have been a great year to contend when, of course, the Yankees were trash and I think Boston was trash. So that would have been cool, but with our bullpen being real good.
I always think of Steve Delabar when we talk about finicky bullpens.
Raise the bar.
He was phenomenal. And then in 2013, Steve Delabar was phenomenal. 2014, poor guy couldn't find the plate.
No.
Couldn't find the strike zone. And that was it.
Yeah,
and I absolutely agree with Liz.
I
just agree with Liz. The bullpen is the top priority. I'd say signing Vladdy is a top priority. But in terms of the whole team, you got to fix that bullpen. Put some body. Hey, I suggested putting Manoah in just for 2025.
Yeah, I think so. Put Manoah in. Put Yariel in. Who else do we got?
Starting pitching.
Yeah.
But as far as the free agent market there's no closing change that you're going to get a drastic improvement on the free agent wire. You're talking Kenley Jansen is the best closer in Major League Baseball as a free agent right now. After that, I'll say similar in Ryan Presley, who technically is still an Astro and not a free agent yet because they haven't decided to decline his option yet. He's vested. He can make $15 million this year, but it hasn't been agreed on yet. So there's that. And then it just falls down to the Ross Striplings, Craig Kimbrells, David Robertson, and then just continuing to get older and older with Daniel Bard and Draws Chapman.
No,
those would be nice.
No on the Chapman.
Pieces,
no on the Chapman. No.
What about
I agree with that.
What about Yarbrough?
Yeah,
pretty decent.
Technically,
yeah.
So, but I have one that I would love to pitch to each of you here because I think there's some smoke to this fire that the Milwaukee Brewers found last year that their minor league talent is actually good to go. And they have a good closer that is not named Devin Williams that we saw pretty much for the whole season last year. And then Devin Williams came and helped them push them to the playoffs as well as they did. Do the Brewers really need to pay somebody like Devin Williams, or should they trade him and get other filler pieces? Right now, that is actually a massive talk amongst Brewers fans, is trading Devin Williams and his salary to a contender and getting those couple filler pieces in that they need more important than keeping Devin Williams in their bullpen when they had a really good bullpen last year for 3/4 of the season without him. I would 100% trade whatever I could to get somebody like Devin Williams in the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen right now because there is that giant need. And Devin Williams would be a better get than any of those guys I just mentioned on the free agent the free agent line. What say you both? I don't know if I'm talking to my head out of my ass or anything, but I do think there is some smoke to the fact that the Brewers have a tradable asset that they might actually offload this season, very similar to Corbin Burns.
What happened in 2024? He only appeared in 22 games. Was he hurt?
He was hurt to begin the season.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at his last 3 years, and he's got an ERA under 2.
I like that.
Yeah. That plays.
That
plays.
Yep. I don't know what his current contract is, but I think he's technically under control for this season and next year.
Looks like he's a free agent at the end of 2025.
Okay,
arbitration eligible for 2025, and then he'll be a free agent at the end. Yeah.
But to that point, then that makes it a rental. I'm fine with paying a lower price, hopefully, to get somebody that, in turn, you guys know as much as I do that bullpen arms are very volatile.
Mm-hmm.
They can be great, and then all of a sudden, to that point, you mentioned the Steve Delabar piece earlier. So all-star to nothing overnight, right? It can go like that as a bullpen arm.
And not just all-star to nothing, literally like pro player, teacher, back to pro player, and then
what's that? So, and then it was all the weighted balls was the alleged win for him, right? And then we found out he was actually possibly using performance enhancing. So, but to that point, I do think that Devin Williams is the right age to bet on for a 1-year deal. And then in hopes that maybe he loves Toronto, that you can turn around if he does really well, keep him there. Then you have somebody else paired up nicely if you do not do the dumb no tendering of Jordan Romano, that Romano doesn't have to be the guy after a season of literally being on the shelf. We have some extra bullpen help in the back there. And Devin Williams, if anybody hasn't seen what this guy can do, this guy might have one of the nastiest changeups in Major League Baseball. The thing starts at here and just drops to your shins with no problem. So it's kind of wild. I would highly recommend checking out that video if nobody's seen him. So that was my thought as far as somebody to grab. I agree with you guys that is outside of the Vlad thing, which he's on the team next year, so there's no issue on that part. You got to build a team around him at least for this year, and the easiest win is fixing our bullpen. How many games did we lose this year because of our bullpen?
Many. So are you saying Romano's cooked? So you're like, Romano's done?
I don't think he's done.
No, I wouldn't give up on him.
I would love to see him on this team, but I would love that insurance policy along with having him ready to go in this bullpen. If you get Romano back to the Romano that we are used to seeing as Blue Jays fans, and you have a pairing with like him, like this Devin Williams, I'd love to watch them two just beat each other up for that closer spot.
Yeah.
And imagine if you got Manoah coming in the 7th and 8th.
No,
right?
Correct.
And he's firing on all cylinders.
And then even to that point, I'm going to even go one step farther and go Yay Rod.
I'm saying you guys are wilding. I'm saying that's really blue sky. Like if we were to go total blue sky, but I'm like, no.
I wore the powder blue hat today.
Yeah,
I'm going blue sky.
No.
So I did get an interesting one here from our friend Jeremy again. He wants a power hitter. He wants somebody to go with Vladdy, and he's looking at Luis Robert Jr. of the White Sox. I think that's another bad steal if you were able to talk the White Sox, but I also would love to see somebody healthier than Luis Robert Jr. being able to be part of this lineup for the Blue Jays, because Robert is easily a stud athlete, but at the end of the day, he has not been healthy for the last 4 years.
I like that he has 2 first names for a name. I do like that. And I like the junior in there. I don't know if he's the answer, but man, I want more hitting really badly. That's it. Like power hitting. That's fun, man. That's fun. That's what we saw at World Series. But I don't know. Pitching wins.
Did you end up watching that video I sent you with Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux?
Yeah. That which one? Me?
The Chicks Dig the Long.
Chicks Dig the Long Ball. The commercial was awesome. Chicks do dig the long ball. That was actually amazing. That was so good.
I knew as soon as we were talking about it on the show last week, I'm like, I'm going to send this to you and you're going to die laughing.
I was very impressed at the production quality and the length and the story arc and just like Chicks Dig the Long Ball. I'm like, yes.
There's 2 parts of that commercial that stood out very heavily to me, other than the them bitching about Mark McGwire getting all the attention between Maddux and Glavine. Was they did the training montage like Rocky, and there's one with Greg Maddux literally swinging a bat at Tom Glavine's like chest, going, "Come on, step into it."
It's good. It's good. Anyway, I dig the long ball. I'm not immune.
Yeah, and then in the midst of that whole thing, this team really could use some power. So where does it come from? So let's once again go to the free agent board. We already know that Juan Soto would be the easiest cure-all for all Blue Jays fans to, quote unquote, get us some pop.
What about Alonso?
Other parts, Pete Alonso would be. He's currently ranked as the 4th best hitter on the free agent line. The 2 above him are Paul Goldschmidt. Somehow, I don't get that when he's at the age of 37. That seems very Joey Votto-ish to me at this point. And then our old friend Teoscar Hernandez, who my guess is
he's never coming back.
To be a California kid.
He should stay there. It's good for him.
Fans.
He's LA's child now.
Yeah, it's not ours.
Yep.
And that's great.
It must have been love, but it's over.
It's over now.
It's good.
It's over.
But we lost it somehow.
And the one pick that I'm going to be very, very upset if this ever comes in any level of true. I do not want to touch Alex Bregman with a 10-foot pole, because I'm worried that he can't hit anymore.
Yeah, that seems to be the sort of the soup du jour in terms of Blue Jays rumors, that they're going to get him.
Yeah.
And I'm not too comfortable with that. Maybe 1-year deal though. A 1-year deal. Would that be terrible?
That I'm fine with. Put up or shut up deal, I'm fine with. Then maybe he turns into Marcus Semien. It did the 1 year. I'm fine with that. But giving him an extended deal when he has been not hitting as well as he has been early in his career, and he has also been playing a sloppier third base, I will say it's still a good, but a left side of the infield with him and Bichette scare me a little bit.
And have we given up on Barger?
I'm honestly more curious what Barger would look like long-term him in that equation. And I'm more curious about that than watching somebody at the age of 30 starting to decline already. I get he's buddies with George Springer. Fine, sure. probably get him here. But I'm worried that, like I said, he is just possibly declining already. And he's looking for a multi-year deal.
No. But like Craig,
me.
Why is he buddies with George Springer? From why?
I don't know.
From cheating, Craig. From cheating.
Well, they kind of played together for several years and won a World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was that whole thing with Altuve with it. It's still good. I think the biggest problem is I lump Altuve into that more than I lump Bregman, but that was the first couple of years Bregman was there. So
I'm sorry, but that was a whole system-wide cheating scandal throughout the organization.
I know
through and through.
I'm not knocking that. And that's still something why I will not buy a Springer jersey or anything anytime soon either.
I respect that he gets
correct.
Booed. He should get booed.
So after Bregman, you're in the Anthony Rizzo categories already. Michael Conforto's, Josh Bell's. This is just a rough year to be a freaking Major League Baseball free agent and looking to get stuff.
Yeah.
I have a crazy idea.
I honestly.
Can I?
All right, that's what the show's all about, my friend.
So here's what I'm going to throw out to you guys. So we have Kirk, but who's gonna share that catching duties? I'm gonna throw a name at you guys. Kyle Higashioka.
No problems with that.
So if you look, I was looking at his stats, and he hit about. I mean, I know there's the advanced stuff, but I'm going to go traditional on this one. He had about 17 home runs last year.
I like that.
Yep.
Okay. Now Kirk.
There's a big ballpark.
Let's say Kyle comes to the Jays. He hits about 10 to 20 homers. You have Kirk taking the other half of the games. He hits about 10 to 20 homers. So you're looking at about 10, maybe 20, 30, maybe homer, or 20, 30, 40 home runs from your catching spot. Production. I mean, they're not the greatest numbers, but for catchers, they got, and when Kyle Higashioka played for the Yankees, he would kill the Blue Jays. There was about a 2-year span where this guy just destroyed them. And it was, I don't know what it was about the uniform of the Blue Jays uniform, but he played very well. You put him in a Jays uniform, maybe you get some of that good stuff. And there's a rumor going around that Tampa Bay is going to play some of their home games at TD Ballpark in Dunedin.
That's the rumor.
That's a hitter's park.
There is a rumor.
Yeah.
That's a hitter's park.
Yeah.
Ryan Borucki once called it a bandbox. So if the Jays are going to play, 6, 7, 8 games at their own spring training ballpark, and you've got a Vladdy, Kyle Higashioka, Kirk, that's an advantage for the Jays.
Yep. That might, if you were, so you just boiled that amount of home runs and average and everything down into basically the equivalent of one person. Tell me the last Blue Jay that actually hit 30 home runs as a catcher.
Oh, is that a trivia question?
I don't know who it is for sure, but I have a theory, and it's not anybody that anybody's going to remember.
Hold on. Give me the year. Give me the era. What year?
It would have been right when we switched back to the regular Blue Jay logo, not the Angry Bird. So it would have been right around
JPA
2010.
2012 is when they went to the
2018.
Unless you mean John Buck, either John Buck or JPA.
Buck.
Which one
was the one?
Oh, really?
In my hand.
Okay. Yeah, he had a good
because he had a damn near. He had a monster year that one year and then fell off the face of the planet to the point where he basically was a Brewers pinch hitter in the playoffs for a little bit there, and that's about it. But yeah, Buck had a monster season where he damn near came close to 30 if he didn't hit 30. Martin only ever hit 20 for us, correct?
Yeah. I was going to say Martin, but it wasn't Martin. I knew in my heart that it was not.
Yeah. Like I said, I was trying to find that stat because I was honestly looking here. I'm like, Deandre Navarro had a better chance at freaking more than 20 home runs than some people. Saying a lot. But yeah, there was a trade that I pitched a couple of weeks ago. Was apparently, Liz, I think you were on the show the week I pitched this one out there, but it was an article that was actually on Sports Illustrated. Was the Blue Jays trade to the Braves Bo Bichette for a couple of prospects. Actually, it was 3 prospects that were in that major league ready ballpark, and one of them was a sneaky good catcher in their minor league system that was the quote unquote throw-in guy as their 7th overall top prospect right now. And I was like, give me that. Put him with Kirk.
Yeah, agreed.
Call that a day. He's in AAA already and hitting 20 homers in AAA. But to that point, you'd had to turn around and sign. If let's say you let go and trade Bo Bichette, you got to turn around and throw a brick of money at the only good shortstop on the free agent market in Willy Adames, who might be a good fit for the Blue Jays, but
I'm not ready to give up on
Willy
Bo.
Adames. I'm not either, but
I am.
I know you. Why?
Well, no, not even that. Not even the impact, but just that, like, if we can get like many things for him now, I don't know. We have too many holes to fill, and I don't know if he's going to put up numbers. And if he doesn't put up numbers next year, or even if he does, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah. He just needs to play better and boost his trade value. He could be the DeMar DeRozan of this team.
He could be.
If you know, you know.
The one who launches us to championship.
Yep.
I'm not being precious with Bo. I'm not precious about the Bo Vladdy duo. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm not precious. I am precious about Vladdy because he performs and I like him. But Bo, I don't know. I think Bo's still finding himself. And I'm cool with that, but not at the expense of us winning in the next couple of years.
No, I thought I had a horrible other stat here that another Blue Jays giant home run catcher was Darren Fletcher, but he never hit more than 20.
No, and he was he literally retired as a Blue Jay. I think if you're looking for, what was Ernie Witt's numbers? I think Ernie Witt's your closest. I
don't know if he ever hit 30 though.
Pulling up his stats. No, most was, he had 19 home runs in a couple of seasons, but that's pretty much it. I mean, it's catchers. You know,
20 is around the ballpark for the best Blue Jays home run catchers, anyways. So, because Witt did that, Martin did it, Greg Zahn did it one year almost. Career high 12 home runs the one year with us.
Who goes on?
Darren Fletcher had 20. Yep.
Yeah, I will also give the stat that Zahn is the only Blue Jay to have appeared on Real Housewives of Canada.
Oh God, I don't even want to know what that train wreck was like with all the other fun news.
No, they were like old. Anyway, whatever. It was fun.
Yeah,
he was on there.
Gotcha.
It was weird though.
And then Pat Borders. Only had early in his career, he had a couple 15 home run seasons.
Yeah, I'm just looking up JP Arancibia. The most he got was 23 in 2011.
And then he didn't. He didn't hurt.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. I had a player shirt with his name on it, and I threw it out when he was under that Mendoza line. I was like, nope.
Here's another deep cut for you in the Angry Bird era. Josh Phelps played catcher of the year. He hit 20 home runs. First base and catcher, 20 home run season. Bed 268. That's right up there with the John Buck part to your call out there, Heck. So let's talk. We last thing here. We mentioned does Adames play second base if we're able to talk him into it? Would that be the worst thing to pick this offense up? He was the cleanup hitter for the Brewers this year.
Oh, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Get the offense somewhere, right? So closing thoughts. I didn't realize that last conversation we burned up another 10 minutes without even noticing it. So, Liz, is there anything you'd like to talk out here before I give Mr. Heck his shameless self-promoting bit?
No, I just want everyone to be cool, guys. It's going to be a long off season. Just be cool.
Amen.
5 minutes. I'm not even at the winter meetings yet where we actually get the legit freak out. So good deal.
And let's also take everything with a grain of salt. Let's not, I was begging people to drink chamomile tea the day of Ohtani's flight. So everyone,
you guys are all acting like freaking election news with me here in the States. Come on, take 5 minutes and chill.
Everyone touch grass.
It's not actual
life
rumor,
or death. Go touch grass.
Touch turf.
Good stuff. All right. Well, Mr. Heck, your shameless self-promoting bit. Give all the Blue Jays fans where they can find you and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks. It's been great to be back on the show, and thank you everybody for allowing the 8:00 start time. Really appreciate it. And dnjt.wordpress.com is my URL for Definitely Not Jays Talk. Current article is about Juan Soto, my little open letter to Juan Soto, trying to convince him to come to the Jays. And then the next article is going to come out not this Friday, but the next Friday. And honestly, I didn't want to write about free agency because everybody else is doing that. So I'm going to go a little bit off the board. The idea is, if you're tired about reading about the free agency articles, if you're tired of free agency articles, I've got a little something just to give you a little break, a little appetizer, a little palate cleanser. It's got to do with promotional giveaways.
There it is.
My favorite promotional giveaway of all time, from going to games for 30 years. So
was it Chassin by any chance?
No, it wasn't Chassin. Chassin Cologne. No. It's
God.
gonna be. You'll have to find out. You'll have to find out next Friday.
But, is it the alarm clock?
No, the buck. Get up. Alarm clock. Nope.
Or
it's a throwback. I had one of those, and the guy's damn leg broke off. I wanted to give it to my daughter, and it just no yeet. No yeet on that one.
Well, yeah, no yeet. Bad yeet.
But I do want to say, so dnjt.wordpress.com. Follow me on Twitter at the heck, THEHEK. Please follow Craig, and please follow Liz, and please follow Jason as well. And just one other thing, guys, believe it or not, and I have to give a cap tip to Kevin Glue on this one, but today marks 7 years since Roy Halladay passed away. We miss Doc every day, so Roy Halladay, may his memory be a blessing.
Damn right.
Yep.
So anyway, Eric, thank you very much for your random monthly appearance. I know it was a little bit more than a month this time, but we will make sure we get you back on a little bit more often because obviously we have such a horrible time when you stop by. Worst. Horrible.
Appreciate
on that, Blue Jays fans, make sure you check out the Heck's wonderful work that he's doing. It's awesome. It's good stuff. I do love his pitch for Juan Soto. Make sure you head over there, give that one a read, and enjoy yourself. Hopefully it is the right marketing campaign that he's actually reading and the Blue Jays actually do run with it. So on that note, we are the Jaybird Watching Podcast, the official podcast of Fansided.com and butchered that. JaysJournal.com. And in the midst of all the fun, make sure you check out the wonderful work they have going on there. If you haven't noticed, we didn't do any shilling for our wonderful fun stuff at Underdog Fantasy. Promo's done, but the Jaybird code still works. So if you happen to go on Underdog Fantasy, type in Jaybird, you'll get that little present we were talking about when you sign up. And on that note, we're here every week. Make sure you join us. We are here to have fun every Thursday, 7 p.m. or 8 if Eric's here, and make sure we have some fun talking Blue Jays baseball, anything going on off-season wise. We will be all set here with you. We will have fun. We have some good shenanigans, and I promise we will find something fun to not talk about free agent crazy unless something actually happens between now and next week. So once again, Blue Jays fans, cheers. Game on.
Thank you for listening to the Jaybird Watching Podcast. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch at BirdwatchingGC and our YouTube channel. If you want to support the show and get extra content, please consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/birdwatchinggc. Go Jays, go.
Woo!